Okay, picture this. You're stepping out into that crisp autumn air, seeing all those vibrant fall colors around you, and there's this feeling, of discovery just waiting. We're about to do a deep dive into a place that, well, it just perfectly blends amazing natural beauty with some really captivating folklore. Today, our focus is Kintokiyama. It's the highest peak of the Hakone Outer Rim in Japan. And it offers this really unique mix, incredible clear views of Mount Fuji, plus the really heartwarming legend of Kintaro.
Exactly. And our mission here for you listening is to really pull out the key insights from the source material we have on Kintokiyama. We want to make it super clear what makes this mountain such a special experience. So whether you're actually planning a trip or maybe you're just curious about one of Japan's really scenic peaks, you'll find out it's way more than just a hike. It's really a journey into Japanese culture and some absolutely stunning scenery.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. Beyond just the beautiful descriptions, what are the sort of fundamental facts about Kintokiyama? What makes it tick?
Well, first off, the stats are impressive. It's a majestic peak, 212 meters high. And it's actually recognized as one of the Japanese 300 famous mountains.
Oh, okay, so that's like a big deal in Japan, a recognized list.
Yeah, it's a pretty prestigious list. It
Mhm.
highlights mountains that are significant for, their beauty, history, or cultural importance.
Yeah.
Kind of the must-do peaks for serious hikers there. But its location is also key, being the highest point on the Hakone Outer Rim, like you said. That means you get these unparalleled, totally unobstructed views of Mount Fuji right from the summit. It's quite something.
Unobstructed Fuji views, right? That's a major draw.
Definitely. But what's fascinating here and what elevates it is that it's not just a physical landmark. It's also got this deep cultural significance.
Right. You mentioned folklore. Here's where it gets really interesting, I think. You mentioned Kintaro.
Yes, the legendary aspect.
Mm.
This mountain is tied to one of Japan's most beloved folk heroes, Kintaro. His actual name was Sakata Kintoki.
Sakata Kintoki. Okay. So what's the story?
Well, the core legend is that Kintaro grew up right here on this very mountain. The stories they tell of him being incredibly strong even as a child, famously wrestling bears, playing with the animals.
Hmm.
It paints a picture of immense strength, but also a connection to nature.
Wow, wrestling bears. That does sound like something out of a folktale, but how does that actually, connect to the hike itself? Does the source say how you feel that legend when you're walking?
It really does, and that's what makes it kind of unique. The legend is woven right into the hiking experience. As you hike the trails, you actually come across specific spots from the stories. Things like the Kintoki Tamori stone, like a Kintaro's bouncy ball made of stone,
Oh, cool.
and the Kintoki Yadori stone, supposedly a rock he sheltered under. So these aren't just, points on a map. They let you literally walk through the history, feel that connection the source calls history romance.
History romance. I like that. So you're not just seeing scenery, you're stepping into a story.
Exactly. Imagine standing here a spot where, legend says Kintaro wrestled a bear. It just transforms the view, doesn't it? It makes it more than just a pretty hike. It becomes this palpable piece of history. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really highlights how intertwined nature and narrative often are in Japanese culture.
That really adds such a rich layer. Knowing that story makes you want to go even more. So, for those of us now really keen to experience this mix of nature and story, what does the actual hike look like? Is there a recommended route in the source?
Yes, there is. The source outlines a really nice model course. It's a traverse route along the Hakone Outer Rim. You'd start from a place called Sengokuhara, hike up and over Kintokiyama itself, and then continue via Yaguruzawa Pass towards two other peaks, Ryojingatake and Mayogatake.
Okay, a traverse route. How tough is that?
Well, what's great is that it's highlighted as being beginner-friendly. The whole thing takes about 3.5 hours.
Only 3.5 hours. That's surprisingly accessible for a mountain with those kinds of views and history.
Right. It makes it a really appealing option for a day trip, even if you're not, like, a hardcore mountaineer.
So what kind of scenery can you expect on this beginner-friendly route? The source mentions some vivid stuff.
Oh, the scenic diversity is fantastic. It talks about a pleasant ridge walk, which sounds lovely. You get changing autumn colors, sunlight filtering through trees, and also these big open fields of golden pampas grass that apparently shift and change as you walk. So visually, it sounds quite dynamic.
Yeah, constantly changing, and it sounds like there's some real wow moments, too. The source mentioned an aerial stroll beyond one of the passes, with changing panoramas, and even seeing mountains floating in a sea of clouds. That sounds incredible. Is that common?
Well, the sea of clouds effect, that can definitely depend on the weather conditions, a bit of luck involved there.
Yeah.
But those open views during the ridge walk, those seem to be a pretty consistent highlight according to the source. And the grand reward, the main event, is definitely that view from the summit.
The Fuji view.
Yes, that breathtaking, expansive view of Mount Fuji from 12,012 meters up. Even if there are a few clouds around, the source still calls the view impressive. It's clearly the payoff.
Nice. And is there anywhere to rest up there?
Yeah, conveniently, there's a mountain hut right at the summit. Perfect spot to catch your breath, have a snack, and just soak in that amazing panorama.
This kind of raises an interesting point. How can a relatively short, accessible hike like this pack in so much? Such a variety of scenery, these moments of awe, the cultural connection. It almost feels like Kintokiyama is perfectly designed to give you maximum impact in a manageable time, rewarding without being overly strenuous.
Yeah, it sounds like a very efficient way to experience something profound. Okay, so you've done the hike, soaked in the views, felt the history. You're probably getting hungry. What about after the hike? Does the source suggest where to get some well-earned food and maybe relax?
It does give a specific recommendation, actually, a place called Mishidokuro Inakaya Daichi.
Okay, Inakaya Daichi. What's it known for? It's mentioned for its warm dishes made with local ingredients. Sounds absolutely perfect for refueling after a good hike in the mountain air.
Warm food, local ingredients. Yeah, that sounds ideal. Hits the spot. And thinking practically, for you listening who might be considering this, how easy is it to actually get to the start of the trail using public transport, maybe from Odawara Station?
Surprisingly straightforward, actually.
Yeah.
It's quite accessible. You can catch a Hakone Tozan bus from Odawara Station. The source details a specific one, a 6.45 a.m. bus from the east exit, platform number 4, heading to Sengoku.
6.45 a.m. Okay.
Early start. Yeah, get you there around 7:25 a.m., ready to hike. And for getting back, there are return options too. For instance, a 3.35 p.m. bus from a stop called Miyajino Aikyo that goes back to Odawara Station. So yeah, it's definitely set up as an easy and doable day trip for you.
That's great to know. Makes planning much easier. So as we wrap up our deep dive on Kintokiyama, it really feels like we've uncovered something special. It's clearly not just another mountain. It's this perfect blend of absolutely stunning natural beauty, really grand scenery, and that incredibly heartwarming local legend. It genuinely sounds like it promises some unforgettable memories.
Absolutely. And hopefully this encourages you, the listener, to think about how experiences like hiking Kintokiyama let us connect. Connect both with the natural world, the trees, the views, the air, but also with that rich tapestry of local history and folklore. These places are almost like living museums, aren't they? Inviting us not just to look, but to sort of participate in their ongoing stories. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you to ponder. How do places like Kintokiyama, where this incredible natural grandeur meets these ancient, powerful tales, how does that combination shape our understanding of a region? And maybe what other hidden gems, could be a mountain, could be a small town, are out there waiting for you to discover their own layered stories?